My husband exploded on me after almost 15 years together and told me he doesn't want to be with me anymore, but then backtracked and said he didn't mean it and wants me to forget it and let him come home. My husband, 32M, and I, 32F, have been married for almost 2 years, but we've been together for almost 15. He is the only real long-term boyfriend I have had in my adult life, and we have 2 children together. We have had a rocky relationship from the beginning, if I'm being honest, but the last 3 years have, for the most part, been pretty great. The turning point for our relationship, I feel, was after he got blackout drunk at his friend's wedding and spent the entire 1.5-hour drive home that I drove him and his friend on, as I was sober, screaming at me and saying nasty things. Since then, things had been pretty good. I have been working on myself, losing weight, putting more effort into myself and my appearance, and making new friends. About 5 months ago, he woke up one day and told me he wasn't happy with his life or with me and wanted to leave. He then decided he was wrong and didn't want to leave. Not to drag it on too much, but a highlight reel of the last 5 months is that he has left me 4 to 5 times and come back every time saying he's sorry. Been unhappy when I have gone out for dinner or to see girlfriends. Gotten blackout drunk again and behaved horrendously towards me. I can't really talk about it on this thread. The same night as above, there was some severe drama with his family. I'm also being made out to be the villain for telling them this behavior is disgusting, especially since our 2 children were asleep in bed when everything was happening. Called me every name under the sun, often in front of our children. Accused me multiple times of having affairs, with absolutely no basis. I didn't realize a few of these things can't be discussed here. His excuses are that he doesn't feel loved enough by me and that I'm not affectionate enough. But it's hard to feel affectionate towards someone who is treating you like crap. I'm getting very little family support and being made to feel guilty for breaking our family up if I don't let him just come back home. But he is never going to change. I guess I'm just looking for some validation and support that I'm making the right decision because I keep being told I'm wrong. What are my next steps to stay strong in my decision not to take him back and to try to establish a healthy co-parenting relationship for our children? /relevant comments. Commenter. His behavior is diabolical, and you deserve better. Kick his volatile bum out and change the locks. You are not the source of all his unhappiness, though he'd rather blame you than fix himself. Edited to add, the frequency of him getting blackout drunk is not safe for you or your children. Seek legal counsel. Open a bank account in your name and transfer 50% of the balance. Kick him out citing safety concerns for you and the kids. Commenter 2. So he gets drunk and nasty, screaming all kinds of things at you for over an hour, and you change? He doesn't? I mean, if you wanted to lose weight for you, that's great, for you. If you wanted to make new friends and have more of a social life and a support system for you, that's great, for you, only if you did those things for you. And now, he leaves, and wants to come back, and somehow, you're still wrong? If you need extra strength, if you stay, you are teaching your children that this is what relationships are like. If you have a son, he will learn that this is how men treat women. If you have a daughter, she will learn that this is how she should be treated by men. They will think this is the norm. You didn't break up your family, and stop talking to people who think this. Your husband broke up the family. Also, children would rather be from a broken home than live in one. Get a lawyer and a therapist ASAP. You and your kids deserve better than this. You are worth more than this. Update 16 days later. I just wanted to first say thank you to everyone for all of your responses. I can't tell you how much they've helped me through this time, and every time I was struggling, I went back and looked at them all. I just wanted to address a few things mentioned in the comments and then give an update, so skip to the end if you just want the update. I have spent the last few weeks really thinking about our relationship and its dynamics, and honestly, it's difficult to really think about it and embarrassing to realize I've allowed this for so long. Some background on our relationship and the dynamics of my life. We started seeing each other at 15, and on reflection, I can see that he was pressuring me even back then to do what he wanted, for example, pressuring me into losing my virginity when I didn't want to, but thankfully a friend intervened for me. I grew up in a house filled with domestic violence and an extended family that was very dysfunctional from trauma. Around the time we first met, my stepdad, who raised me, and had separated from my mom about 3 years prior, told me his new partner didn't like me calling him dad. She was also turning my bedroom at his house into her spare room for when her family came to visit, and it essentially ended with him abandoning his dad role in my life. The night we started dating at 17 was, in hindsight, deeply troubling. We had been at a local function and had been friends. I was speaking with a mutual friend leading up to this night, and we snuck away to spend time together. When we came back to the function, our mutual friends were laughing about it, and he started screaming at me in front of everyone for hooking up with his friend when he knew he liked me and that I was a beach. I followed him out to apologize, no idea what I was apologizing for now, and ended up in a relationship with him. He habitually lied to me about using illicit substances throughout the years. He knew it was a hard limit for me as a relative had passed away from an overdose. I know to some people it seems ridiculous as it's pretty normal where we are from, but I didn't want to be involved with it in the slightest. He caused friendship breakdowns because friends would come to me and tell me he was using substances, he would deny it and tell me they were lying, and I would end up in arguments with them. He admitted 2 years ago to lying about it because he could see my viewpoint had changed and I was more accepting of it. Our relationship was great for the last 2 to 3 years, 1 to 2 years before our wedding and 1 year after. But on reflection, I realize it was because I was just being more obedient to him. I was basically a married single mom, handled everything at home, worked in our business, and was the primary parent for our children. Okay, now for the update. I saw everyone's comments about leaving him, running, and divorce. That is definitely my plan. But I'm trying to be smart about everything and not rush it or do it on impulse. After my last post, I did cave to his pressure and allowed him another chance. I told him that I was going to visit my friend's new apartment in the city and go for dinner together. He lost it and tried to forbid me from going. I told him I wasn't asking for permission, I was just letting him know. He was yelling and carrying on in front of our children that I either be husband and wife again or he's leaving right now. I was just overwhelmed and trying to get him to stop, so I agreed. He also admitted to going through my phone to look at my messages with my friend because he didn't trust what I was saying. But shock and horror, a week later he left again. So currently we are not together. He keeps apologizing and telling me he loves me and regrets the things he said to me. He keeps asking me, "So are you done or do you want to be with me?" I reminded him that he left and we're not currently together. I said that without real changed behavior I am not willing to be together. And I know that he will not be able to do that because I now realize that I think he is a narcissist, or at least pretty close. In the meantime, I have been recording many of our conversations and interactions. I am meeting with a lawyer and speaking with an individual counselor. I'm also trying to get my house ready for sale without it being obvious. I forwarded many of our business financial documents to a separate email in case he restricts access to them. His work email is also on my computer, as I handled most of his correspondence, and a few days ago he had an email from Snapchat about some password change or something. Not really a huge deal, I guess, but I'm pretty confident there is either another specific girl in the picture or he's having casual sex. If there's anything else I should be doing, anything you want clarified, or any thoughts you have, I'd love to hear them. And thank you all again. Top/relevant comments. Additional info from up. I just wanted to say thank you to those who have left genuine feedback and support. But honestly, I'm pretty taken aback by how aggressive some of the comments have been toward me. I was actually really proud that I've started taking steps to get out. And I fully intend to leave him. But it is a huge milestone in my life to accept that I have allowed myself to be in an abusive relationship and to start the process of leaving the only man I've ever been with in 15 years. And I honestly never really realized it wasn't normal, which you may not understand, but it's just my reality. And for the people who keep mentioning why I'm putting my kids through this, I think you're misdirecting your anger a bit there. I'm trying my very best to shield them, and I've almost got everything ready to get us out. I'm so close. But the person doing this to our children is him. Am I allowing crappy behavior? Absolutely. But I'm not doing it. And I'm actively getting us out. So anyway, I'm trying my best, I'm leaving, and I hope that maybe next time you see a post like this, you might be a little kinder than just a lot of insults. Second update 17 days later. Hi all. I wanted to post an update for everyone who gave me advice in my previous posts and helped me through a really difficult time. My soon-to-be ex-husband has been gone from our home for 2 weeks now. It has been 2 weeks filled with crash outs, love bombing, and everything in between. But I have held firm and told him I am completely out of the relationship and want a divorce. I have bought new security cameras for the time being but want to sell our house and buy my own place as soon as possible. However, separating our finances is going to be so difficult. I know I'm only at the very beginning of the journey, but I am feeling so proud of myself and strong in my resolution. And honestly, I haven't even missed him once yet. I feel free. The kids and I can be at home and do what we feel like without worrying if he will have a problem with it. There's no more yelling at home. It's just peaceful. So thank you again for your advice. I probably won't have another update, but thank you all. And if you have any tips or tricks for negotiating custody agreements and divorce, that would be great. I can't tell you how much you all helped me push through the hardest part. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Please do not cave into his excuses or love bombing. He will never change, no matter what he says or promises. I've read your other posts, and he sounds like a piece of crap. You and your kids will be so much better off without him and his constant screaming, anger, and abuse. Focus on yourself and your kids now. You should be very proud of yourself for moving on. I know it's scary and hard, but it will be so worth it. Best of luck and a happy future for you and your children. Ops response: I absolutely will not. It's crazy how much you really see when you take off the rose-colored glasses. Thank you. It is a bit scary and definitely hard, but God, has it been worth it? Commenter 2. You've done something incredible. The fact that you stood your ground despite the emotional pressure, that's a huge win. Peace at home and your freedom? Absolutely priceless. Whenever it gets tough, remind yourself why you started this in the first place. One tip: write everything down when it comes to the kids and any agreements, even if things seem fine now. You're in a new chapter, and it's already starting with a victory. Ops response: I have a video I watch of one of his outbursts whenever my brain tries to trick me into remembering the good parts, to remind myself. And honestly, I only needed to watch it for the first few days.